and share a little bit about her, then she's going to share about what she's up to. Give Precious a round of applause. She has formed Precious Kids Foundation, and they work with not just orphans, but also others, to communities in Uganda, and they're expanding out beyond that and giving medical service and aids, and you're going to say more about that, in order to not just serve those who need it, because it's so sorely needed, but also to prevent there being even more orphans, because people die so early or die too much because they aren't being taken care of. And you are taking care of them. So let's hear more about that, Precious.
All right, thank you so much, Brian, Michelle. Thank you for this opportunity. So I woke up, it was about 10 a.m., and that was on July 5th, 2015. And I got a phone call that my dad had passed away. I was a daddy's girl, and that I didn't believe that. So I woke up, and then by 2 o'clock, I was on a plane heading to Uganda to see whether they're telling me the truth, because I didn't believe my dad can pass away. Now, I was grown up. We have so many people in Uganda and so many African countries that have died prematurely in ways that are so preventable. For about 12 years, I've taken care of orphans and widows and single moms. That has been my passion for life. But when this happened to me, it was very personal. Remember, I had never been an orphan. My mom and dad were there, and so I had done it out of compassion for the people in the world. But when it happened to me, I knew something had to be done. Because 3 months after that, my auntie, who is my dad's sister, passed away prematurely in the ER from asthma. Asthma is very treatable. 6 months later, my remaining grandparent, but she was a lady, passes away. So within less than a year, you get to see death after death after death. And all of these were so preventable. So out of my passion, having taken care of widows, single moms, I knew I had to do something. I've been in the US for 20 years, thankfully, and I've been trained as a neuroscience registered nurse. One of the trainings that we receive is prevention is better than cure. If you go backwards and see why do we have many orphans, why do we have so many widows, then you get to see, let's say if it's a man that had a wound, and that wound got infected, that wound is not treated, becomes septic. If you know in the medical field, sepsis means your whole system becomes like a septic tank. There's a lot of infection, then that man dies. If that man had 4 kids, they become orphans right away. If that man had a wife, that is a widow. This happens day after day, hour after hour in Uganda. Not only in Uganda, because what happens in Uganda is just a mirror of what happens in Africa. So I knew I had to do something. I knew I could not just sit there and just keep taking care of orphans and widows. I knew we had to do something. So what we did is our foundation, Precious Kids Foundation, we decided to do something different. I used my expertise as a neuroscience registered nurse, and we take volunteers from the US, from Germany, from other places. You can be medical, you can be non-medical, because we go beyond medical missions. After we treat, we also educate, we also empower, we equip. Because it's one thing to take care of a person, but it's another thing to empower them so that they can continue their life and the skills that you've given them to be able to take care of themselves. It is time. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up. In so doing, we're able to save many people. We just came back in September and we treated about 5,000 patients. Last year, we treated 4,700 and delivered babies, and we do this community after community in Uganda and other African countries. So in so doing, we're preventing many premature deaths that will eventually decrease the number of orphans and widows. So I'm respectful of the time. I'm going to say, in order to get a hold of us or to know what we do, or even to support what we do, we need donors, we need endowments, we need people to come with us and volunteer with us. The number is 415, if you could get out your phone. It is 415-329-1055. When you text PKF, Precious Kids Foundation, but it's PKF. When you text PKF, we'll give you information about who we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Precious, so much. Living the mission, living a life of